We chillin', get high.
Shit crazy. Smoke to get my mind right. Chillin'. Trying to get my grind right. Fight for us.
What's up, guys? Sergeant G from the Stone Vet USMC Take 2, man. I thought I was already recording this, and apparently I missed the freaking hit the record button. It's Friday, though. It's coming to the end. Hopefully some of you guys are working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You guys are getting some relaxation now. It's coming to an end. Maybe you get to hear this because, like I said, I publish this first thing Friday morning. Maybe you get to hear it while you at work, trying to finish off the day, finish off the week strong, man. Like I said, I do this every Friday. I get to bring on some brothers, my brothers and sisters that have served in our military, our beloved military, that are making a difference in our community. It's some time, man. It's a struggle sometimes running a podcast. You get it like, who can I bring on the show? Who's new? Who's doing something in our community? You know, who's a venturepreneur who started a small business? They need to get some kind of people can see what they're doing and who they are, man. It's great Friday, man. It's good. It's the weather, man. For whatever reason, it's May and it's freaking cold outside, dude. We're in Oklahoma, and usually in May it's pushing close to 100 degrees by now. You know.
Well, it's certainly higher than 63, which is what it is right now.
It's 63 degrees right now, and like I said, it's usually up high 80s, low 90s, maybe mid 90s around this time, and boy, it's got a nice cool breeze. It almost feels like fall outside, which is crazy.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't mind it. I enjoy the cooler weather. I don't mind it too much. I enjoy it, so I'm not sweating too bad. I'm glad you guys are here with me. So like I said, if you ain't able to get on YouTube to watch the videos, I am on every major platform. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Deezer. Wherever you listen to podcasts, I am there. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me, man. If you ever get an opportunity, go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It helps me help you guys, get the information out to you guys that I can't get out every Friday. I have a great honor of bringing on Lee from Reveille Bridge Veteran Foundation.
Yes. Veteran
Foundation. He is a Navy veteran that is making a difference in the Oklahoman veteran community here. He is building small houses for homeless vets, which is phenomenal. How many of you guys have ever dealt with being homeless? It's disgusting. It's hard. And it's like I was talking to Lee earlier. There's resources out there for us veterans. There are tons and tons of resources, but there's not one single website or somewhere or someone that could say, what are you struggling with? How can I help you? That can get you the resources you need, man. Happy Friday, Lee. I'm glad you're here. I know this is part 2. We've been here sitting around for a little while talking, and I forgot to hit the daggum record button on this thing, and now it is here. We're going. It's rolling. It's going. We got it recording now. How you doing, Lee? How you doing today?
Juan, I'm doing great, man. You know, today is a blessing. We got the sun peeking back out here between the clouds, and you know, I don't know if you knew this or not, but a couple of weeks ago we took the Reveille Bridge Veteran Foundation took 6 veterans fishing.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and my hair was shorter than it is now, and I got my scalp
got burnt, huh?
Oh yeah, you know, I got my summer tan across my forehead. And
that sun will get you. That sun will get you.
I don't know if you can notice it or not, but right here, you know, the last time I wore a watch was 20 years ago.
Oh man!
And I still got the tan line.
Still got the tan line.
But anyway, life is great. I can honestly say that life not long ago was not so great.
Absolutely. I mean, being veterans, we have moments in our lives where it sucks.
Right.
It sucks, you know. I mean, we serve our country, and then when our time comes to the end, it's like they wash their hands with us and say,
"Yeah, they do.
I'm good with you. I'm good. I don't need you no more. You did your time. I got what I needed out of you. It's time to move on, right?" That's what I tell a lot of my brothers and sisters, that whenever you get out, whatever branch you're in, they've already backfilled your position. It's going to continue going with or without you.
Oh yeah, there's an E1 coming along every day.
You know, this is why there's always going to be something like that. So Lee, you spent some time in the Navy. Why don't you tell us, what did you do? What was your occupation in the Navy?
Well, I joined in 1979. I got out, that was July of 79. Got out in December of 87.
Okay.
I was an avionics technician. I worked on the A6s and the F-18s. And, you know, I enjoyed my time. I just did not want to go back to sea.
Didn't want to go back on the boat, huh? He said, I don't want to be on the boat. He joined the Navy. He didn't want to be on the boat no more.
Well, you know, the Navy is, they're accurate.
Right,
The Navy's not a job. It's an adventure.
right.
You will see countries.
You'll see them, right? You get on that boat and they'll take you out.
And I saw a number of countries. My first country was in early 70s. We went to Canada.
Wow.
And then in 79, I joined the Navy. In 80, I joined the squadron, A6 squadron, over in the Mediterranean. We did some nice visits over there. Then came back to the States for a while, did a stand down. Then we're back out again. And after that, I went into shore duty. And shore duty was really, really fun.
Was it?
I was flight line supervisor, or LPO, leading petty officer, for a year and a half. And then I got the privilege to work for the Commodore of the wing, and in that I was shift leader for one of the security teams.
Oh, okay.
And my first day, I arrested 5 people.
5 people on your foot. Oh man, this guy was on a mission. He was on a mission. He said, "I'm gonna get all these guys. I'm gonna get everybody."
And we had one gate that the Commodore had placed an order on: no climbing in or out of that gate. The gate was locked. Had 3 E6s and 2 E5s. Climb that gate, come out. I caught them. Pulled over and said, "Hey guys, you know, you guys are supposed to be leading by example. You're senior petty
Right,
officers,
right.
and you know that the order is you're not supposed to climb this gate in or out. You climbed it coming out. I need to take you to the office. We need to write you up. Get in the back of my truck." In the back of my pickup truck, without me taking their ID, I got them all to the office.
Wow.
Wrote them up.
Wow. They
And
all
everybody
stayed
said-
back there, huh?
Everybody said, "How in the world did you keep these guys from jumping out?"
Right.
I said, "It's very simple." I said, "Hey, you guys are the examples. You're the leading petty officers in your shop. You're the bosses. You teach your people. They're going to mimic what you do."
Right.
It's real simple. So now you got to take your punishment for what you just did.
Right. And they did. They stayed there, man. Me, I would have jumped out the back of that damn truck. So you ain't catching me, dude. Nope. I'm going. Like you said, I got to lead by example. You can't get caught.
Right. So, yeah, that was fun for a while. I think I arrested in 6 months 30 people or so, somewhere around there.
Keep it. There's a lot of people jumping a fence.
Yeah, a lot of people wasn't getting the message.
Right. Apparently.
Especially when I was on shift, and when somebody else was on shift, they weren't enforcing the rule like us, because the other guy don't do it. I don't care what the other guy.
I don't care what he's doing. I have to do something. It's my job. I got to do it, man.
I'm given an order. I got to follow my
Got
order.
to follow
right?
the order, right? So you did your time, man. You did your short time,
Yep.
and then your time came to an end, right?
Yeah. And I ended up going back to my hometown, and that was, it wasn't a very good decision, But I have to say that even though it wasn't a good decision, it was part of the stepping stone to get me where I am today,
Yeah.
and in teaching me some of the lessons that I need to know for running Reveille Bridge Veteran Foundation. If I didn't have that foundation, there would be there probably wouldn't be a Reveille Bridge Veterans Foundation.
Right.
And when I got out, I ended up living in my mother's house. My parents were divorced, and it was not exciting. It wasn't freeing.
I bet. I mean, after serving your time, I mean, a lot of people do. They get out of the military and then go back home and they live with their mom and their dad, and it's like you just spent 4 years away from the house and now you're back.
Yeah.
You know, and it can be a bit of a struggle. I mean, we all have our things that we're dealing with, that we deal with when we get out. I mean, like I said, none of us is saving money. None of us has got a backup plan. We just said we're done and it's time to move on.
Yep.
But there's nothing out there to help us with the transition of getting out of the service, which sucks.
Yes.
A lot of times we fall flat on our face. Like Ryan said last week, he was like, I fell both on my ass and on my face at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, and it happens because you don't have anybody holding your hand anymore. You ain't got Sergeant G telling you, hey, you need to be here at 05 so we can go PT. Lunch is at 11. You need to be back at work by 08. Lunch is at 11. You need to be back from lunch by 12. We ain't getting off work till 1800, and then we do it all over again tomorrow.
Right.
You ain't got Sergeant G telling you that no more. So it's like, I got to figure all this shit out on my own now.
Yep.
You know? And that is a hard transition to go back, living back home with mom or mom and dad or whatever. You know, so I can understand the struggle. It's like, the hell am I doing? I'm fucking 20 plus years old and I'm still living at home with mom and dad, you know?
Yep.
I mean, and it's a bit of a struggle. I mean, you served a while ago. You did. I mean, you were in 79. I wasn't even a wet dream yet in 79. So, I mean, but I think the thing is, I don't think the transition has changed. I mean, you're going back to 79. And even then, you're saying that you weren't really given an opportunity to prepare yourself to become a civilian again.
Right.
You know?
None of us are.
None of us are. I got out in 09, and there was nothing there. I mean, I went through the week-long program that they give you to say, okay, here's a week. You can go in there and they can help you write your resumes, or they can help you with your disability if you have any disabilities. But I mean, during that week, nobody's thinking. Everybody's like, I'm getting out. I don't care. Which is what we felt ourselves.
5 and a wake up. That's
Right?
all you
5 and a wake up.
4 to wake
out,
up.
And I'm getting out, you know? And I think we fail ourselves. We do fail ourselves because we're not. But I think the government is failing us even more because of the simple fact they aren't prescribing, they aren't providing us with accurate information that we need to get out. When we go to training, we got classes they've been teaching for years. Whatever training, like aviation school.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing avionics, that's a long school.
Yep.
And they teach you ins and outs of it. But yet, even when you're there, it's not everything you need to know when you go to the fleet. It's not because you learn all new things while you're in the fleet. Because just because they taught you, they're teaching you the basics in school. But when you get out there and you actually learn it, oh, this is something completely different. But I got to understand it because I've seen something similar to this.
Right.
And I can use it.
Yep.
But for us, we ain't never seen it. I mean, some of us, like I joined when I was 17. I was still a teenager. Like I was a baby when I joined. You know what I'm saying? I joined at 17. That's what I tell them. I said the Marine Corps was my mama and my daddy. I was 17 when I joined, you know?
Well, anyone that enlists, you know, the military becomes your parent.
Mm-hmm.
And you're under my roofs, you're going to follow my rules.
Right, absolutely.
And it doesn't matter whether you're living on base or off base. You got those rules that you have to abide by.
Absolutely.
And if you go out and get drunk in town and you get arrested and you don't show up for watch the next day or your work day or whatever, then you're going to get what we call in the Navy UA, unauthorized absence.
Right.
In other services, I think they call it absent without leave.
Right.
But same thing. You fail to show up for your assigned duties at the assigned time, and bam, you're going to pay that punishment.
Right.
If it was a civilian job, they just dock you pay because you didn't work that day.
Right. Yeah, they just dock you pay.
But if you do that multiple times, they might take it to HR and say, hey, Freddie doesn't show up for work every Thursday because Wednesday night he goes out, plays pool, and gets drunk, and he's too drunk to come in the next day.
Right.
Well, find somebody else.
Right.
So they let Freddie go.
Let him go.
But when I got out of the military, like I said, I ended up living at my mother's house on the couch, and those were some hard days. I ended up getting married. We were together for a very short time, and I went to college. I got a degree an associate's degree in criminal justice. I got a bachelor's degree in criminology. And what I didn't know in my first marriage, I kind of learned while I was in my undergraduate program. We kind of touched about this when we were off camera, but what I learned was, and I'm going to put it into a biblical context here. In the Old Testament, we're told that we should find someone that we're equally yoked with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share an example, a recent example. Ben-Hur, the movie Ben-Hur, Moses sees Ben racing the horses around the practice track, and they kept falling off to the right. And Moses told Ben, take the horse that's on the right because it's the slowest, put it on the left because we're making left-hand turns. The faster horses will come around that slower horse and you won't get thrown off the track. Well, if we take that into a marriage, what am I missing that I need to have in a partner so that we're going down a straight path?
Right.
And what does that partner need that I have so that we're going down a straight path?
Right.
In Flight of the Phoenix, I think it was, they were talking about if you take off into the desert, you'll do nothing but walk a circle because one leg stride is longer than the others.
Mm.
And by nature, if you don't have something that you're looking directly at to keep your path straight, you're going to veer left or veer right, depending upon which that is.
Yeah, that's one thing they teach you during the land nav course.
Right.
During the land nav course, they tell you that you usually, whatever dominancy you are, left or right, that's the way you're going to veer if you don't keep that azimuth straight in front of you.
Right.
If you don't keep it straight in front of you, you're going to veer either left or you're going to veer right. And like you said, you'll end up walking a circle and not even realize you're walking in a circle.
Right.
Because you don't have you're not facing what you wanted to look. You're not looking at what you want to go.
Right.
And
that comes into our what are we going to do when we get out of the military?
Right.
When we get out of the military, we have the landscape is just desert.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, but what's the goal that you're trying to get to? And you mentioned TAP. And at TAP, we laughed about it, but our days are 5 and a wake up, 4 and a wake up, 3 and a wake up. God, I'm free.
Right,
It's like,
right.
free to do what? I don't know. I have no idea.
And that's one of the struggles. I mean, serving on. I mean, maybe not now. I mean, are the generations are getting crazier and getting weirder. Whatever the case may be, and people are actually doing what they want to do now. They want to. They're intrigued by the things that are out there, and they want to do different things. When we get out, just speaking on my person, on me of what I do, it's like, fuck, I need a job that pays. I don't care what it is, but I need something that has good benefits and that pays good money.
Right.
And as I tell my son, he said, "How you like work?" I said, "I hate it. I hate what I do for a living." I go to work, I punch a clock, I go to work, do my job, and come home. It's not a career for me. It's not a career. It's a job.
A job is a singular path.
Singular path, right? And that's what I tell him. That's what I'm trying to motivate him. He's 16. I said, "What is your passion? You're young enough now where you can screw up and I can pick up the slack for you where you're screwing up and help you to where you become successful in what you're doing." But somebody like me, I mean, I'm almost 40 years old now, and I'm just like, what is my passion? What do I want to do? I love helping people. I love entertaining people. I love talking with people. That's why I do the show, because I get to bring on some great people who have lived life, who are living life, people who are doing their passion. And I think that's one of the struggling parts for an enlisted person is that we don't seek our passion. We need a job that pays.
Right.
We're too scared to jump off the ledge and chase our passion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're too scared because we don't want to fail.
Right.
Right? We don't want to fail. But that's part of the learning experience is failing. That's what I try to tell my son. If you don't fail, you're not learning.
That's right.
And even some of the greatest people, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, they've all failed more than once.
How many rockets has Elon Musk blown up?
Right, before he was able to launch one into space successfully.
How many light bulbs did Edison try to make before he got the right formula to build that first?
Right. And I think that's one thing that scares people because, like I said, we don't have a lot of money. We have a dream. We see the dream. But the thing is who can help support us during our dream? And that's one of the biggest things is that if we don't have a support system, then we get scared because we don't have that support system that say, "Hey, you can do it."
That's true.
You can do it. I believe in you, and I know you can do it. And that's why I love doing this show because a lot of you guys, a lot of you brothers, a lot of y'all have started it. Reveille Bridge Veteran Foundation. Reveille Bridge Veteran Foundation.
Yes.
When you started this, what was your thoughts when you started this foundation?
Well, the answer to that is a little bit lengthy, but I'm going to give you a nutshell, and then if you want to go into the meat of it, then we can do that. But when I started Reveille Bridge Veterans Foundation, I was utilizing the services of the VA and a psychologist there. And that psychologist and I, we came to the agreement that I came to the realization that if I didn't have a purpose, then if I didn't have a reason to get up every day, then I might as well not live.
Right.
And he suggested that I try and find an organization to volunteer with. So I volunteered with the VA, and then along come this nasty bug, and the VA said, "Thank you, but we're stopping our volunteer program right now. So I went to a outfit in Norman, and I owned my own business for 20 years, sold it in 2015. And I said, I went in there for the purpose of I'm going to check them out to see if they are something that I want to volunteer for.
Right.
They didn't like that. They thought that I was bullheaded, didn't like to follow orders from women and all kinds of stuff. And I just said, you know what? You're not the organization that I want to help.
Right.
And right now, all I see is 2 days here, and the only people that are here are the people that you're paying to work here, and yourself. So, thanks, but no thanks. And so I went back and I talked to friends at the VA and my psychologist, and we came up with, I told them what I wanted to do. And they said, that's a great idea, but I think it's too much. And I said, okay. So I talked to a few more and we came up with the name, Reveille Bridge. Now, a lot of people in the military have heard Reveille.
Right.
They might not know how to spell
Time
it.
to get up, right?
But they know what Reveille means.
Right.
And it's time to wake up.
It's time to get up.
Okay? But if you look at our logo, we have a bugler, and coming out of the bugle is a bridge. When we go into the military, our bridge from civilian life to military life is boot camp.
Right.
When we get out of the military, we have no bridge. We just step right dead off that cliff and hope that we land on a soft spot. Otherwise, we're just crevicing right into the rock, careening right into the rocks, and we might not make it. We might make it, but the idea is wake up to your transition. That's our tagline. Wake up to your transition. Regardless of whether you're homeless, whether you're getting straight out of the military, or whether you're a successful CEO, going from one place to the next place requires a bridge. Reveille Bridge is that bridge for many veterans, for many reservists, for many guardsmen, for many active duty personnel. And the way that we operate is we have a 3-phase program. Phase 1 is our suicide prevention program. Phase 2 is our homeless to home program. Phase 3 is our education retraining program. And how these programs came to be about is based on my life. I have survived multiple suicide attempts. I've been homeless 3 times. I have not worked since January 28th of 2019. Now, a lot of people, when they think of suicide, they think, well, the person's all depressed, they got moral injuries, they got stuff like that. Well, really, depression may be a result of not having a proper job. You said your job sucks.
Yep.
And you just go in, you punch the clock, do your job, punch the clock, come home. But it's not fulfilling. It's not really a purpose. The purpose that you have that job is your family.
Right.
But if you had a choice or you had an option that enabled you to do something that was more fulfilling, your balance in life would be much better, because at work you're not stressed, you're not bringing that stress home.
Right.
At home you're not stressed, and you're not taking that stress to work. And a lot of people just don't realize that. When we're homeless, homelessness leads to suicide as well. And it could lead to drug overdoses or
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
picking up a knife and cutting your
Right.
arms or whatever, it could end up you killing somebody else. And then, that in a sense is a suicide. You may not be dead, but, your life is kind of like it was in the military. You
Right.
wake up at a certain time, go to bed at a certain time, eat at a certain time, wear certain clothing, and you do what the boss says.
Right.
So you really have no life. So all of this equates to suicide prevention.
Right.
And to stop just at, hey, we're taking you through the therapeutics, or we're taking you through rehabilitation service or something like that. It could be art therapy, it could be equine therapy, it could be being an ornithologist. I believe that's the word for it, for bird watching.
Right.
But if you don't have the foundations, everything you do is an agonizing step through an agonizing life.
Right.
And when you asked me how things were going, I said they're great. Couldn't be better. Months ago, they sucked because I didn't have the vision that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
And this vision has given my organization something that is in my mind miraculous.
Yeah.
In the last 2 months, we have stopped 3 suicides in process. And the way that we did it was we are able to do video chats with people that want to talk to someone about what's going on with them. And 2 of those were guns in the mouth. And one was a drug overdose. And in both of those situations, we got them immediate help. Within 48 hours, we were able to build a cadre of veterans and active duty members around those people to give them a support structure.
Which is great. And that's one thing I stress about on the Stone Vet religiously is like, we have to build our community around us.
Right.
Wherever we're at, there's veterans all over this country. They're everywhere. We're everywhere. There's veterans everywhere. There's not one state that doesn't have one veteran.
Right.
We're everywhere. And that's one thing I stress to you guys is that, have you been building your community around you? Have you been building your community with other like-minded personnel? You know what I'm saying? People that have the same beliefs that you have, that have the same dreams that you have, doing the same things that you want to do in the community to help raise it up. Because like I said, life sucks. It does. It can be very hard. Life can be very freaking hard. But if you build your community around you, life can be a little bit easier because you have people with the same goals that you have, with the same insight that you have, that can help you get where you want to go, where you want to be, Let
me use an analogy. to help build on that idea there. Okay. Let's say that I wanted to go out with Angelina Jolie. Okay. The people I want to have around me would not be the guy that lives down the street that drinks 30 cases of beer a night and shoots pool and cusses like a sailor.
Right.
Because that person is not in the same class as her. And when we build our career or build on our goals, we want to go up.
Right.
So you want to find people that are of the mindset that I want to help people up,
Right.
not help people out.
Right.
Okay? So if I wanted, seriously, if I wasn't married and I wanted to go out with Angelina Jolie, two people that I would contact first would be Eric Roberts and Julia Roberts. And say, hey, you know, I want to do this. And maybe they could get me networked through to get to that opportunity. Yeah, you might be laughing out there. But, you know, if you wanted to be the CEO of Walmart, unless you're a Walton, that ain't gonna happen. But let's use a different analogy. Let's say you wanted to take Mary Barra's place and be the CEO of General Motors. Okay, you are not going to go to 7-Eleven and say, hey, I want a job here as a cashier. You're going to want to go to college. You're going to want to get the training that you need. That's one step up. The next step is getting a job that will train you, and then you keep moving up. So in life, what we want to have, as we kind of described earlier with when I got out of the Navy, it was a desolate desert. And there was not, although there was a bunch of stuff out there, there was not a single thing that I could point at and say, that's where I want to go. In our Homeless to Home program, one of the training programs that we put people through is intentional growth.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is we know where we may not know where we're at on the scale of things, but if I wanted to walk out to my car, which is approximately 35 feet away, and I'm sitting here in this wonderful couch, comfortable, and I'm like, hey, this is a great place, but yeah, I want to go over there. You know, what's the first thing I got to do? I got to get my fat, lazy ass off this couch and one foot in front of the other.
Right.
And walk in that direction. So when we don't know where we want to go or what we want to be, we have no aspirations. We may have an aspiration, but we don't know where we're at, so we don't know how to get there.
Right.
It's kind of like I need Google Maps for my life.
Right.
And if we're not careful with that thing, then we face an issue, and we have to figure things out. But Reveille Bridge Veterans Foundation is here to help you along that path, help build that bridge so that you can construct bridges of your own in your future.
Right. Absolutely.
And one of the ways that we help you with that is if, as you mentioned earlier, our tiny homes. We're working on getting some tiny homes built up here so that we can house people, bring them into our 4-month boot camp, teach them the things that they need to know so that they can move from military life or move from living on the street into a more suitable location or more suitable environment, which could be sharing an apartment, renting an apartment, or renting a house. And by getting you positioned to accept those things and appreciate those things and be able to care for those things the way that one should, then you're not going to succeed. So we try to help you build that path of success, build your self-esteem by having you go through various programs and getting those certificates,
Right.
so that you can, hey, I've done this.
Right.
Help you get a starter job if you don't have a job. Help you get into the VA health system if you don't have your things all in order.
Right.
Help you get your benefits if you're due any.
Right.
And maybe you're due some, and maybe you're not exactly sure, but
You're there to help to get
Yes.
them established. And like I said, I mean, so what we talked about earlier is like, you get out of service, and it's like, I didn't know that there's resources out there for me.
right,
You know, you don't, and you know, and that's what I tell my kids. I got 7 kids. That's what I tell them. We're like, you don't know what you don't know. You can't be held accountable, because if you didn't know, then you just didn't know. Like, you can't, you know, you can't hold a hand to the fire and say, but I didn't know. You know, I wasn't awarded that opportunity to know that there's multiple resources out there for the veteran community to help us try to transition into the civilian life, trying to transition this civilian world that we haven't lived in years.
right,
You know, it's like I said it last week. I mean, during that time when you're in the military, it's always hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait.
yep,
You guys don't have to wait anymore. The wait's over. But what are you doing since the wait's over?
you're at the front of your line.
You're at the front of the line. You're no longer having to wait. Like you said, you get up. You have to stand up, and you have to put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Right? How they say, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a
One
time.
bite at a time. And so, is life hard? Hell yeah, life's hard. Life's hard, especially if you're trying to figure out, what do I do? I got out. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I need a job because I got a wife and kids. I need a job that pays good, you know? Is that okay? Yeah, it's fine. Just as long as you can pay your bills and you can make a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you want to stay there forever? Do you want to continue punching the clock 9 to 5? Or do you have a bigger passion? You have bigger dreams? What is it that you want to do? And who do you have helping you get where you want to go?
Right.
You know, that's the biggest thing. Especially owning a nonprofit. I didn't realize how many veteran nonprofits there are in the U.S.
There are a lot.
There's hundreds of thousands of veteran nonprofits. A lot of people don't know of them. You know, but that's why I do the show, because I can let people know, hey, Reveille Bridge Veteran Foundation. You guys probably didn't even know who he was or what they were doing and how they're benefiting the veteran community. But now you guys are aware of who they are, where they're located, and how you can assist. Running a nonprofit's hard. Running a nonprofit's expensive, as we all know.
Yeah, you're unlike a for-profit business,
Right.
where your sales are what carries you through. In absence of sales, you have no work. In absence of no work, you have no business. But with a nonprofit, one might think that you have no work if you have no income.
Right.
I got a phone. I pay my phone bill. People call me. Hey, I need to chat. Let's chat. I got social media. People say, hey, let's chat. We chat.
Right.
What does it cost me? Social media doesn't cost me anything.
No.
My internet service, I got my internet service from the home.
Right.
I got my cell phone from the home.
Right.
You know, what else am I personally expending there except my time?
Right.
So
Absolutely. And you're letting people understand and letting people know who are unaware of what you're doing and how you're benefiting the veteran community. You know what I'm saying? I said, I tell you guys, even Travis Johnson. I don't know if you're familiar with Travis Johnson, but
Yes.
he is a massive know-it-all nonprofit guru. Anything and everything you need to know about nonprofits, he has definitely got to reach out to and ask, hey, I got a question. This is what I got to do.
Okay.
This is what I'm doing, and I need to figure out how to get to that next level. And he's interviewed hundreds of people in the nonprofit world, right? During COVID, it's been a hard time for a lot of nonprofits because it's like, I need your money, right? I need your money in order for my nonprofit to continue growing and providing these services for my brothers and sisters who are struggling. You know, and it's tough, and it's tough to go to somebody and ask for money, right? It's hard to ask somebody for money to help fund your mission. You know, it can be tough, but the way it comes down to the way you word it and the way you explain it to people. This is who I am, and this is what I'm doing.
Right.
This is my mission, and this is why, with your assistance, we can help reduce the 22 veterans a day that we're losing.
Let's talk about the 22 for a moment.
Yes.
You know, the 22, and I really want to help people understand that number, okay? That number is a misnomer.
Mm-hmm.
That 22 number comes from the VA, and it is based on the number of veterans using the VA's mental health services that commit suicide each day, okay? Last year, the VA dropped that number down to 17.3. But what's important about the number, besides it's a number, and that it comes after 21 and before 23, is that number is being used to represent the entirety of veteran suicides, suicides by reservists and guardsmen, and suicides by active duty personnel. So if we look at actually what is being reported, it's underreported considerably.
Mm-hmm.
When only 22% of people going through the VA mental health services commit suicide each day. Ask oneself, well, if that is representing 40% of all veterans, what are the other 60%? How many of those are
Right.
committing suicide every day?
Right.
When drug overdoses and alcoholic overdoses are reported as accidental,
Right.
what do we got? We've got an underreporting. When a veteran when a reservist goes to war, or a guardsman goes to war and comes back, they have no support structure. They're not allowed into the VA because their contract is not ended.
Right.
So they've got no active duty support. They got no civilian support. They got the moral injuries just like a veteran and just like an active duty person, but no support structure. And boom, they're a statistic,
Right.
an uncounted statistic. Active duty, I believe the Air Force says that they got 5 a day. And that's sad.
Right.
So we have to realize, and I use the number 100 because I want to try and encompass all. And I say 100 a day commit suicide. That is 35,000 or 36,500 a year of our heroes are dying. And it breaks my heart that that many people are being brushed under the rug. And I got to help them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the struggle. I mean, I think serving in the service, for our country, that's one of the things we do struggle with. A lot of times we don't like to admit that we're weak. That's the last thing we want people to see us as a weak individual.
We get taught by the military, man up.
Man up, suck it up, get up,
Cowboy
and
up.
do it right. Do what you're supposed to be doing, right? And so, but during this time now, we have to just say, "Hey, I'm hurting today. You got a minute to talk?"
Yeah.
Because we don't want to become one of those other statistics again. We don't want to continue allowing our death rate to increase. Because I mean, we are our brother's keeper.
Right.
We are to make sure that our brothers and our sisters are taken care of. And this is what you guys have to understand is that on the Stone Vet, this is why I bring on you guys, you nonprofits, you start business starters, people who have stopped the wait. The hurry up and wait process is over. The wait's over. You've taken that step and said, I need to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I started the podcast because I felt I needed to do something. I want people to feel comfortable when I come on the mic and they say, I can relate. I like Sergeant G. I like the way he talks. I like what he's speaking. And just promote you guys that are making a difference in our community. Whether it's a nonprofit, they need help. Are you local? Can you volunteer your time? Can you help Lee with his nonprofit? Can you help him? Can you help fund his nonprofit?
That would be greatly
You know what I'm saying?
appreciated.
Can you guys go out there and subscribe to a monthly donation, whether it's $5 or it's $500? Any little dollar goes a long way with any nonprofit that I bring on the show, just so you guys have an understanding of that.
Right.
If you do a $5 donation every month, that helps him tremendously. Because if we can get 100 people to donate $5 a month, it's a great funding for his nonprofit to be able to be bringing in the resources for our brothers and sisters who are struggling here in Oklahoma.
We calculated today let me explain first. With the tiny homes, once we have them on the trailer and furnished, the daily expense will be approximately $35 a day to house one veteran. And I'm going to share with you some pictures of what it could look like inside this tiny home.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to blow your socks away.
Yeah.
We have 2 lofts, one for a king-size bed and one for a twin bed. And then in the living room area, you have enough room to open it up and have a fold-out couch.
Oh, wow.
So 2 up top, 1 up top, that's 3. 2 in the fold-out, that's 5 people in 300 square foot space, and you're not crowded.
Wow. That's
Full
awesome.
bath, shower, stool, the whole thing. You got you got a full kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, refrigerator, all the works.
All of it.
And you got a nice living room, which, most living rooms are roughly 10 feet by, or 8 feet by maybe 10 feet or so, 80 square feet or so. And that's the living room, or the den, or whatever, wherever you're watching TV. And that's just awesome.
It is. That's awesome. That's awesome. Like you guys said, like you heard him, he said it costs $35 a day to operate this thing. So if 6 of y'all donated $5 a month,
That's $30.
$30. Okay, so 7 of y'all, doing the math right, 7 people donating $5 a month, get you your $35, right? For at least one person to be able to live in this place. So if they're donating $5 a month, right?
Per day.
Per day, $35 a day is where somebody can live comfortably
Right.
in this tiny home that he's doing. And like I said, if you guys come over to YouTube, I'll have the pictures put up. I'll put the pictures in there so you can see these amazing these tiny homes that he has, man. And be able to come out and support Lee over at Reveille Bridge Veterans Foundation. To be able to support your brothers and sisters, man. This is great, man. We're coming to the end. We're getting close to the end, Lee. What else do you have to promote? Let's promote Reveille Bridge. What else would you want everybody else to hear about what you want and what you're doing?
Once we have the revenue coming in so that we can establish this, we are going to have a club type environment with no alcohol. So pool tables, dartboards, music. We got a lot of people that want to volunteer and do music. Comedians. We got the colleges that want to come in and do theatrical positions, stuff like that. So it can give people an opportunity in those arenas to build their resumes.
Right.
And get their names out, stuff like that. So that's going to be really, really major. The hours are going to be 5 p.m. to midnight, Monday through Friday, and then 10 a.m. to midnight, Saturday and Sunday. And the reason for that time slot is 66% of all suicides occur between midnight and 6 a.m. By having our people trained in adult mental health first aid, we're going to be having our people capable of identifying people that are stressed and confident enough to walk up to them and say, Sergeant G, I see you having a hard day today. Are you thinking about hurting yourself or somebody else?
Right.
When we don't have the courage to ask that question, we fail that person.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
that person could go home
And hurt
5
themselves.
minutes, 5 minutes later, and, or
That's
walk
it.
out to the car
Right.
in the parking lot. And not only is it going to shake everybody, it's going to shake that person that failed to ask the question.
Right.
But it's also going to affect
Everybody.
else involved with that person. And we have to save. We have to have the courage. Where we had the courage to stand up and face a bullet, we have to have the courage to ask, are you going to hurt yourself or someone else?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And what you're doing is amazingly. What you're doing with Reveille Bridge Veterans Foundation, you're making movements. The wait's over. You got up and said, hurry up and wait is over.
Yes, sir.
I'm here. Remember, guys, get out there. Check out Reveille Bridge Veterans Foundation.
Our website is at, I'll give you phonetics here. Romeo, Echo, Victor, Echo, India, Lima, Lima, Echo, Bravo, Romeo, India, Delta, Golf, Echo.org.
.org. And like I said, I'll have his description down there in that description box. Every way you can get in contact with him, how you can make monthly donations to his organization to help him continue growing, continue helping our brothers and sisters who are struggling, who haven't been able to find that work that they need to in order to survive, man. I appreciate it, Lee. I appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us today, man. Hanging out on this Friday, enjoying this beautiful weather that we're having, man. Remember, guys, we're here to help support you. That's why I do the shows, to help support you guys. That maybe it can give you a click in the head and be like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to help you. I
Yeah.
want to help do things for you, man.
If you want to help save veterans' lives, I can put you on the phones. I'll train you the way that I do it.
Absolutely, guys. You know, and this is what it's about, supporting each other. Any way we can, we have to support each other because we're the only ones that are going to help each other. We're the only ones that can understand each other because we've all been through the same things. We've been through some of the same things, whatever it was while we were serving. But we can relate to each other and we can understand each other, man. Don't forget to go over to rafa180.com. When you go check out, man, check out the Stone Vet USMC. Get you 15% off all the products in the store, man. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us, hanging out with Lee. Thank you, sir, for
Thank
coming
you.
out.
Appreciate
Thank you for
you.
coming out, hanging out with us on this Friday. Hey, guys, remember here at the Stone Vet, we got your six.
Waiting on the president, shit getting real. Looking in my retina, niggas told still. When your life going down, grab a pound, smoke, chill, relax. It's Friday, you ain't got a job, we gon' get high today. Dark of the flesh, the deep of the roots, green of the weed. You know this true. Puff, puff, pass, trying to get high. Got high blood pressure, we coming down.